And now, broadcasting live from the Dark Room Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Hey everybody, welcome to In the Know. I'm Craig.
Good morning, I'm Megan.
And this is a show we do here every week. Just talk about things that are going on in our community, things that are going on at the college. Sometimes we start late because the college is having fire alarms and fire drills.
Fire drills.
Yeah.
The fire alarm was intentional.
It was, yeah.
Yes, it was intentional. We're all safe and everybody passed.
Yes.
So it's all good.
But yeah.
So sorry for the delay, everybody.
Yeah, that's okay though. But yeah, so happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Are you having a great summer and excited about the weekend coming up?
It is a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of a long weekend if you take Monday off, because we will be open Monday.
Yeah, of course.
And some classes will be going on. And of course, we're closed on Tuesday, July 4th.
4th of July, you got some fireworks?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't do fireworks.
I think we'll be talking about some 4th of July events coming up.
Perfect.
We're
going to let the professionals do fireworks.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need more fire alarms going on.
No more fire alarms. No more fires. I'll say that
Wildflowers are okay.
Wildflowers are beautiful. Fires are not.
You could be a wildflower too. That's okay. Oh, you snorted. Yes. All right,
and
so,
it starts.
So we'll get that snort on TikTok later, just so we can just get a loop of Megan's snort.
Oh, thanks.
And then also on the show, we have help in the booth. Who's in the booth with us?
Good morning, Zanetta.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. How about you?
Good.
And you got a helper back there too.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Make your appearance. This is Dante.
Hey, Dante.
Hey, Dante.
Thanks for helping out.
Yep, he's been coming and just kind of seeing how we put this thing together, and he's got an interest in doing a little bit of this as well, right?
Yeah, well, that's awesome. We always like students to get involved.
Of course.
I thought I was making better judgment.
Trying to frame things up.
I was trying to get it away from being in me.
Speaking of framing, we should say who our guest is today.
Yes.
Right?
Framing.
Yeah, right?
Pun.
That's
Pun
not
intended.
my pun. I don't get credit for it.
Pun intended.
Right? But yeah, we have Laura Avery from the Criminal Justice Program. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yep. And we had you on the show a year and a half or so ago. Yep. And it was a lot of fun when we had you on before. Love to have you back again. So yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And it was Halloween.
It was.
Yes.
It was. And brought stuff and talked about it and
creepy stuff.
Yeah, well,
for some people.
Yeah. For some people, yes.
And some people were dressed up. I think I was a cat that
Were
day.
you?
I think I was a cat, yeah.
Okay. I don't remember what I was.
Remember, because I lifted my leg up to show you my cheetah shoes, and I got a leg cramp?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, cramp.
I think I was just a weirdo. I had, my hair was up really high.
And you had some silly outfit on.
I did, yeah. I wasn't really anything except an idiot, which is every day.
And
so.
Chelsea was a cactus?
She might have been a cactus.
I think she was a cactus.
Yeah. Anyway,
if you want to go back to, I don't know, what was that, episode 14? I mean, it was like 1,000 years ago.
It's a Throwback Thursday. We'll put a link in the comments so people can go back and they can watch that one too.
There
How about
you go.
that?
Absolutely. That's good. Very good.
So
Throwback
you'll be talking
Thursday.
about some of the things going on with criminal justice programs and how people can get involved, what the process is, all of that. But first, there's silly things that are going on that Megan's going to tell us about, I know, right?
Silly?
Things of the day?
Well, they are things of the day, but they're not really that silly.
Oh, okay.
But so tell me, on a scale to 1 to 10, how important it is for you to have a good handshake from somebody who you're meeting.
It's pretty important. I definitely don't feel good when I've gotten a bad handshake from somebody. It gives me a weird feeling.
It does.
I don't like it.
Yeah. The wimpy one?
Yeah, I mean, or you just miss. I actually had a period of about 2 weeks where I don't know why, but I was getting weird handshakes with people, and I was like, my game's off or something's off in the universe, and I had to bring it back around again. But yeah, if you go to meet somebody and you go in for the handshake and it's not a solid connection, it feels off. And then I'm thinking about it.
Show me.
Do
you go in hard or do you?
I'm not trying to break your hand.
Okay.
I just want to make a solid contact. Yeah, like.
But do you make sure that they lock in here?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Yeah. What about the really intense one where their arms are shaking and the whole body's jiggling? I mean, I don't like that one.
I have seen those, and there is somebody in our community who I will go in for the handshake with him every time, knowing that he's going to crush every bone in my hand.
Gosh, that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
So I experienced it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I had a student brought to my office, but I literally was in the process of eating part of my lunch, which was celery sticks and hummus, which I need my hands for, right? And I kind of got that feeling like he wanted to shake my hands, and I'm like, I'm eating. You know, like I didn't want to. So, but I did anyway. And and then it was still kind of uneventful. But I think people have lost practice
With COVID?
With COVID. I think that they're like, hesitant. Do they want to shake my hand? Do they not? Because everybody was like, no touchy, and then it was the bump the knuckles and the elbow. So I think that it could be practice.
It's a mix. It seems like a lot of people don't know what to do anymore. And a lot of it just seems like there are some social rules where people don't know who's comfortable with it and who's not. I had a meeting with somebody yesterday. One person, they bumped fists. The other one was coughing and said, I'm not shaking anybody's hand today. So
Okay. So people are a little more conscious of it.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter teaches down at the Volt Center, one of those life skills, Brianna, and she actually does a segment on handshaking and eye contact and interview as part of the interview skill process.
Yeah.
And she's telling this to her daddy, who was like, what? Like, why do people not know how to shake hands or eye contact? I'm like, things have changed, man. Things really have. So the reason why I'm talking about this is National Handshake Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
Laura's like, why are we talking about handshakes so much?
I was waiting for the connection.
We have a bell. Ding, ding, ding. There's the connection. The origin of the handshake is hard to pinpoint, as it is a nonverbal mode of communication. It may have existed before written records. Theories suggest it was a way for medieval knights, Roman soldiers, and other weapon-carrying men to check for hidden daggers and grasping each other's forearms in a greeting. Archaeological ruins in ancient Greece support this theory. There's a place that depicts two soldiers shaking hands that dates back to the 5th century BC. An even older record in Egypt suggests that handshaking held a different sort of power, the power of giving. According to Babylon customs, kings would grasp the hand of the statue of the god of Marduk before taking the throne. This act was repeated annually during the festival of Zagmuk, did I say that correctly? To carry his power over into the next year, even conquering Assyria, and they continued that tradition.
The Festival of Zagmuk.
Zagmuk, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there for it.
Yep. So, and then of course, then you can kind of go into modern times. So during ancient times, modern day handshakes have different customs around the world. Women didn't usually carry weapons and therefore didn't shake hands as form of greeting. In the United States, Russia
didn't usually carry weapons.
Usually. Some people might. Russia, Australia, Brazil, and the United Kingdom shake hands. They tend to be firm. But even those with firm greetings have lingering differences. However, in most Asian countries such as China, Japan, and South Korea, the grip is light and there should be no direct eye contact.
Interesting.
Yeah. But in the Philippines, they make eye contact while holding you lightly.
I think eye contact is an important part of it too. I don't think it's an effective way to see if anybody has a weapon. Just throwing it out there. I have this other hand over here that you're not grabbing, and that's where I'm going to keep my
and you're
dagger.
left-handed.
I am left-handed, so I'm gonna shake hands with you, and then when we release, I'm just gonna pull that dagger out, and it's lights out for you.
Lights out. You're a good one.
No.
What
Also,
about a secret handshake? Did you ever have a secret handshake, like with a sibling or your buddies, like to get into the clubhouse?
I never got as much into the secret handshakes as much as trying to get the handshake where it had a couple of different moves.
Bump,
yep, and then it would
bump.
end with a nice solid snap at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, that takes some time. My son and I are working on that one now because that's one he wants.
Very cool.
Yeah. I will add also, we always love when people comment on our show. And our friend Brad over at Bear City Impact,
hey, Brad.
he says, hey, Brad, he says, I'll take a super strong handshake over the dead hand. When there's zero life in the handshake, I just want to run. Yeah, I call it the limp fish.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes, limp fish.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the dead hand.
Oh.
Boom, boom. Let's throw it down.
I don't understand how I got framing and
the dead hand.
And the dead hand this morning.
Because, Laura, we are so excited about what you have been bringing to the college with your criminal justice program. So, again, dead hand and being framed, weapons, it all ties together. And this was not planned
this morning.
Yeah, we definitely need a segue bell for you.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I sent some links to Zanetta.
Okay, we'll get you a segue bell.
Yeah,
okay.
I did. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your background and how it brought you to the college to teach these programs.
It's a long and winding road. I started law enforcement in the late 90s. I truly was looking for something. I hadn't started college yet, so I was like, I need a profession. And the very first night of the police academy, it just
Clicked.
something got a hold of me.
That's awesome.
We were actually covering constitutional law and arrest, search, and seizure. And these were concepts that you don't learn in school. So it was not your normal high school stuff. And so I was just into it. And since then, I worked about 20 years and took a little bit of time off. I started as an adjunct here at the college in 2018. And then in 2020, I took over the lead instructor position for the criminal justice program. And I'm still going to college myself. So
Good for you.
yeah,
That's
can never have
awesome.
enough.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people may not know the clear difference between something like BLET, law enforcement, and criminal justice. Can you help people understand the specifics of what criminal justice is and sort of the differences between the two?
Absolutely. Not all of my students want to be police officers. So you have so many professions within criminal justice. Victim advocacy is becoming a much bigger thing, and that is explaining. A lot of people don't consider what happens because we deal so much with offenders. And what happens when you're a victim? Who tells you what is out there to help you? Who tells you the process? So victim advocacy, we have animal control, we have students going into forensics. So about half, the last time I ran the stats, only about half of my students wanted to be on the road working as a criminal justice police officer. So with my program, when you're done, you have a 2-year degree in criminal justice. You can go many different places. You can look in different things. Now, if you want to be a police officer in North Carolina, you then need to go over and see Jim Ward in BLET, and you have to complete the BLET program. And that is specific to law enforcement in North Carolina. So my program covers a little bit of everything: the criminology, the theories behind crime and victimization and offenders and juveniles, and what makes someone offend, what social circumstances are we looking at, what background, what happens in the entire process. So we just run the gamut of a little bit of everything. We throw some forensics in there. We have a good time.
So if you had a student kind of like yourself, like you weren't really sure if this was the area that you wanted to go into, what do you think is the best starter class?
We have 111, which is your intro to criminal justice. That's always a great class because it sort of just touches on a little bit of everything. We talk about the beginning of criminal justice and how all this got started, which, of course, we have history from the Roman period and stuff like that, and we go through everything a little bit quickly. And then we talk about the theories, and we just get into all the different jobs that are available. 111 is a great class to get started on. So,
That's good. And I also know that's offered for our high school students that are part of the Career College Promise.
yes.
So that's a great little introduction. And then if they don't go into the criminal law program, it's an elective. So that's a good option.
Do you have many students from the high schools that are taking the class?
As a matter of fact, we are at all 3 high schools officially in the fall. So we have
Congrats.
New Bern, thank you. We
Yeah.
have Havelock. Stephanie has done an amazing work generating interest in the program, and now West Craven. So
That's
I will
great.
actually be teaching at West Craven.
And those are on site, not
They are
remote?
on
Okay,
site.
great.
We have instructors that go at 7:30 in the morning till about 8:40, 8:50. And we teach 4 classes, so 2 a semester, basically 8 weeks, and they get 4 classes. It transfers to a college. They don't, they don't have to go into the criminal justice program. We love to see them if they do.
Yeah.
But it's a really great time in life to get started, and I think that criminal justice is important to understand, even if this isn't the field you want to go into. You really do need to understand the roles of law enforcement in society, even if this is not something you're interested in. You do need to understand how laws and stuff like that impact you just as a person. So
And that's, I guess, where the constitutional law part of the class comes in,
Yes,
right?
That's a great class.
And I
enjoy
can see you
teaching it.
light up every time you talk about
Yes.
constitutional law. What is it about it that interests you so much? Or what?
I'm sort of a rules person. I like when things are spelled out, which is ironic that you go into a field where nothing is spelled out and everything's a little bit up in the air. Constitutional law to me is a massive part of our history here in this country, and it's just something about being told these are the rules and this is what you can and can't do. And I think that anyone that goes into criminal justice has to have extreme reverence for our laws. You
Yeah.
have to understand them and understand how they change through each situation that you're dealing with with citizens.
Right.
So,
I would imagine that's how you maintain trust with citizens, right? If everybody is working from the same rule book, right? And it just informs you in your daily work on knowing what you can and cannot do and what you should and should not do, right? And I'm guessing understanding constitutional law and those help you later on when you're actually trying to, get someone convicted, or, you don't want to have done something that would throw it out, right?
I think that, and one of the things when people come by to see the class or to get one of the lectures that I do, often we have students come by, and I get anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to talk with students coming up everywhere from middle school up, kind of present the program to them. I think that one of the biggest issues is that there is a lack of communication between citizens understanding what law enforcement can and cannot do, and the legal justification behind it. So when you're a citizen, none of us like to be told stop doing that.
Sure.
Especially when you don't realize that what you're doing is wrong, or that somebody's going to stop. Adults don't like to be told you can't do that. And then law enforcement on traffic stops and everything are not required in that specific moment of time to articulate to you necessarily what they're doing. So you have a citizen that's upset that they don't know why they've been stopped, and a law enforcement officer who hasn't yet told them why. Friction ensues. And then a lot of that comes down to, I believe, lack of communication. So I tell everybody I run into, even if you can just take an introductory constitutional law, this one's specifically towards law enforcement, it's great to understand not only what limitations law enforcement are operating under, but what as a citizen you do and don't have to know at that moment. It's helpful no matter what you do. You need to understand that part about our society. So I really enjoyed teaching that class.
And I also know you enjoyed something very special that happened, but there were a couple of steps that you had to take to get there. The SkillsUSA National Competition, but you had to win the regional first, correct?
We did.
So back it up a little bit. Boop, boop, boop. A couple of weeks, a couple months. Obviously, you've been working on this for a while. So
SkillsUSA took place in Greensboro at the beginning of the year, and it is high school and post-secondary schools from all over North Carolina who come and compete in crime scene investigation. That's the very specific part I was in. There is one for the police side of the house, but the one that I was training and working with the students on was crime scene investigation. And in the spring, we have an introductory crime scene class. It's a fun class. It's last time we were here, it's skulls and fingerprints and footprints and just all sorts of stuff.
And you create crime scenes for your students to go and look at. I've seen. I haven't been able to see the class itself, but I've seen some of the video footage, and you've got them in the whole suit, and they're going around and putting the numbers down, marking different
the
entire
thing. And I was very fortunate. This spring we had our class. The officer that trained me all those years ago, and I'm not going to say how many years ago, because if she's listening, she will get very upset that I just told on both of us. She's also now retired. Detective Sergeant Maria Bowen, retired. She came to the college and worked with those students and ran that introductory class, and it was so exciting to see the person that trained me all those years ago, both she and I going forward and helping with the students. It was fantastic. But we did go to Greensboro, and we had the competition there. And it was the first time that criminal justice from Craven had attended Greensboro, the SkillsUSA State. And they won first place. And I was ecstatic. I was so proud of those guys. They really, because we didn't know what to expect going in.
And what was that category specifically?
Crime scene investigations.
Okay, got it.
Right. And
Can you tell us the scenario?
They don't tell until you get there, right before you
tell
walk
us
in.
What yours was? Like after? I mean, now that you...
So, they had a room set up, and instructors, advisors could not interact with the students at all. You had to leave them alone. They had a fake little living room set up. And Maria and I had spent so much time telling these students, find evidence. The point is to go in, photograph it, locate your evidence, stick down the markers, more pictures. You have to measure evidence. In the future, if you had to go to trial, that evidence would have to be placed in exactly the same spot. They don't tell you how many pieces of evidence you were supposed to find. My students found 11 pieces of evidence. They were only supposed to find 5.
Wow.
And they
That's
found,
digging deep, isn't
right,
it?
they found chewed up bubble gum underneath a chair. Apparently, when the people who set up the crime scene, they didn't check under the chair, and there was chewed bubble gum. My students saw it, thought it was intentionally part of this crime scene, and because they only had 30 minutes to work this, and they found 11 pieces of evidence, which is astronomical. You would. The longest professional would not be able to do all of that with 11 pieces of evidence in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So they started running out of time, and I told them, I said, it doesn't matter the way that y'all worked that crime scene. They literally, I knew that this team of 3 students could immediately go out and work an actual crime scene. They were far more in depth than what the skills competition at the state level was looking for.
That's really cool to put on the resume, too.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And so we finished that. And because we won first place, there's 110 occupational areas that are covered by skills. It's everything.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Skills
Yes.
USA, not just criminal justice, but automotive or welding
Yes.
or mechatronics or basically our
Yes.
career programs areas. It's all those hands-on skills.
Represented
Yeah.
there.
And
Gotcha.
it's really cool. And then every first place winner from each state and territory that participates gets to go to the national competition. And this year it was in Atlanta. We just came back from it, and we were excited. And the guys went, and I was not allowed to see any of it. So I know it was a basic crime scene
Look
setup.
at that photo. There were a lot of people there,
Oh,
huh?
it was unbelievable.
Wow.
It was, these young adults, they do have a middle school version. We weren't obviously there with the middle schoolers. We were with high school and post-secondary. Thousands and thousands of just young people, no matter what skill they were using, they were so excited about what they had learned.
Yeah.
And so my team competed. And again, they didn't know going into it. It's just like real life. They're not told what to expect. Nothing. You grab all your gear, and we flew. And so you had that panic. Please don't lose my suitcase. All the forensic stuff is in there. Please don't search my suitcase. You're probably going to have even more questions when you fingerprint powder and tape and stuff. And they did so well. So they won third place in nationals.
That's so great.
It was
There they are.
amazing.
So tell us who we have here up on the screen.
Left to right. So the women on each end, on left and right, those are the Georgia Bureau of Investigation agents who were actually running the scenarios that my team went through.
Okay, so they're the ones who are doing it every day on the job.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes. And so on the left, the first student, that is Grant Hardy. And then beside him is Matthew Dukes. And then the student beside me is Michael Russo.
Okay.
And Matthew and Michael are starting BLET. They graduated my program in May. Saw Mike walk the stage. He's done. And they start BLET to be police officers in August.
Okay, wow.
Grant's
great.
got like one more semester with me.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
So I didn't want to say the second National Day of because I wanted to make the tie-in, but
Sorry.
No, it was perfect. The other one is National Camera Day. And so how important is camera in your profession, as you were just saying?
That is everything that Grant did on this crime scene. He did all of the photographing. That has come a long way just in my time in law enforcement. So when I started in the 90s in law enforcement, you had a basic camera. I mean, I remember some crime scenes being Polaroid. You didn't have
Speaking of Polaroid,
Right.
look what I brought. I brought an old Polaroid.
We didn't
Go ahead.
have.
I'm gonna pull
We
this
have
up.
all these inventions now, and the body cameras and the videoing and the cameras. It is vastly important. Your crime scene and getting to express that to potential jurors in the future, when however long time elapses, they have to sit there and understand what happened on this crime scene.
Right.
They need the pictures. They need to understand, and photography is a vital part. That's giving me flashbacks.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And look, here's the film. Oh, that's a picture that my
Is-
daughter
Polaroid.
took.
Do you have to teach any kind of photography in the program as well, or is it?
We covered that in the crime scene investigations
Okay.
class. Yeah, I did want to show y'all. Look,
What'd you get?
Is that the medal?
it is.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yes. So
Skills USA champion.
it was fantastic. I'm so
see
proud of them.
And then on the back, it's got a eagle. Very cool. Here it goes.
That's great. I'm so glad that our students got an opportunity to participate in that as well. And I believe the foundation may have helped a little bit
They
with that trip
did.
as
We
well.
had,
So,
of course, we had massive community help, and so many people were so proud of these students. And as with everything else, we wouldn't be able to do this without the community's help and without the college's help and foundation and everything. So it was amazing. They also have a world skills.
Oh, is that right?
Will you get to go?
Only first place,
Yeah,
and
gotta be
only
first place, I would guess.
if your area is actually represented at Worlds, and crime scene investigation is not.
Interesting.
And it's in France this year. I was
Oh.
like,
Speaking of France, what do you think is the most photographed object in the world?
Eiffel Tower.
I'm gonna guess
Eiffel Tower.
yeah.
Yes.
Before we forget, though, we did have a first place finisher at SkillsUSA, right?
We did.
We don't have them on the show today, but we did have one of our students from the IT program, right?
Yes,
So I don't-
and that was pretty. Apparently, our first gold medal here at Craven, from
Yep,
my
for
understanding.
nationals?
Yeah,
Yep.
for nationals, and that was amazing.
That's great.
And you get to know these other students. And he's not in my program, but spending so much time and everything around him, I got to know a lot of students outside of criminal justice,
Yeah.
and it was really neat.
Yeah.
So very proud of him as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Very neat.
Did you have another Polaroid here you were
Well,
going to
it's
show us?
it's that Insta text.
Okay.
You can pull it out.
Okay.
Insta text. It's another
Yeah.
another little Polaroid. So,
So
I was going to share. Go
my
ahead.
mom,
don't
who I know
remember
is
that.
watching, she's taken many photos of me when I was a kid with a Polaroid.
Uh-huh.
And do you remember the ones that were like shaped like a little
Yes,
rectangle with,
with
the
the-
flash
with-
cubes on top?
Yes.
They had the tower flash cube, or you had the square one that would.
And they were
They
expensive.
were
Had
very
many
expensive.
of those too.
Craig, can you explain what a flash cube is for our younger audience?
Can I explain what a flash cube is? So it looks kind of like a little mini block of ice, right? And there were usually about 7 of them stacked on top of each other.
That was the tower, and then the cube's different. Yeah.
Yeah, that would go into. Normally today, when you have a camera, there's a little shoe on the top that you would slide your flash into. So same kind of concept. It will slide on top, and it some sort of chemical magic inside. So when you hit the button, one of the cubes would make a bright flash. But I believe you only got one flash out of each of them, and then you had to kind of move down the line. So you would get.
And we
6 or so
all now have
flashes
to
out of
take
it.
our arthritis medication.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about all these
What I
things
did.
this morning.
I'm glad the
Watch
blood was
that,
on.
Watch that one later in the TikTok reel as well. So.
Yeah. So our first.
Can't get this out.
You don't
It's
want to
fine.
take it out.
Don't.
So this is
Don't
the
slow down for
this
me.
is the newer version, the 2010 plus, that I think Fuji put this out. This is another one of my children's, but this was kind of marketed to children. It was kind of like their newest Polaroid. So you want to hear a few fun facts about Polaroid?
My son got one for Christmas. So they're making a comeback.
Yes.
People love them now.
They're fun. I went to a couple senior graduation parties and they had them there. So instead of doing a selfie on your phone that you don't really share, they were taking selfies with the Polaroid. It was kind of like the first selfie, if you think about it. 1948, the Polaroid was released in a department store in Boston. It sold out in just minutes. The Polaroid company got its start in 1937 by selling polarized glasses. Kodak was one of Polaroid's early customers for polarizing filters. The Polaroid was invented by Edwin Land, but he was inspired by his 3-year-old daughter, Jennifer. He took a picture of his daughter on vacation, and she asked why she could not see the picture she had just taken with him. So the original camera was called the capital L, capital A-N-D camera. So since his last name was Land, so it was the L-A-N, the Land camera.
Okay.
And you want to guess what the first one sold for? The cost?
$470.
89, which would probably be equivalent to about $470 now.
In the 40s?
37. Yep, 37. So think about the Polaroid design and produced loads of products for the U.S. Armed Services during the World War II. So it included night vision devices and colored filters and rangefinders. So was
Very
not-
cool.
it
Happy
was very
Camera
cool.
Day.
Happy Camera Day.
Yeah.
And it's used in your wonderful profession, and you're teaching the students how to do it. And you think about, we went from really, really bulky, like you were saying, bulky cameras, to digital. So according to Business Insider in 2017, we took 1.2 trillion digital photos. That was in 2017. So now we went from large and boxy, put the little hood over your head, take your and flash. They had the separate flash.
They did, yeah.
And then
You couldn't smile.
And now we can put them in our pocket.
Yeah.
our cameras.
It's amazing. Yeah, you can put it all in there now.
You wear them on your glasses. Have you seen those? They have
No.
little cameras and stuff on the glasses that you wear.
Yeah,
I have not.
yeah. I saw a
Very
little
good.
ad this morning for some AI glasses that will help you see if people are telling you the truth or not. So
Really?
that'll be fun to see. Yep.
Maybe you can tell by the handshake.
You probably could. In a somewhat related comment, Brad also says he remembers years ago that his driving instructor told him to keep a disposable camera in the glove box of his car in case there was an accident.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Remember the disposables back in the 90s at the weddings?
Yes.
That was always fun.
Zanetta, do you know what a disposable camera is? Okay. I didn't have to explain that one. It's
Didn't have
shaped
to.
like a block of ice, and it melts as the day gets
They
warmer.
came in.
Yeah.
They came in cardboard.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you want another little photography tidbit?
Give it
Or
to
you want
me.
to guess? Okay. This is the most famous photography in history according to the image search study. What do you think is number one? The most famous photography image.
What about the VJ Day kiss?
I thought that was going to be in the top 3. It was not. Man on the Moon.
I
Okay.
didn't think about that.
Yeah. The second one I didn't think of either. That was the Man on the Moon was 1968. Think of 1932. Think of industrial development. Gotcha. Nothing?
Hindenburg?
Is it the high beam?
Yes, lunch on the skyscraper.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And-
so crazy too. Have you ever been to the top of Rockefeller Center and seen where that is? That is an insane person who would walk out on
Yeah.
that beam and sit there because they have the beams in there where you can take a photo and see how big
Absolutely
it actually is.
not.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
And the third one, think 1945, think American flag.
Hiroshima?
Iwo Jima. The
Iwo
raising
Jima.
of the flag of Iwo Jima. That was number 3.
All right.
Yeah. So little tidbits. I thought when I said like most popular, I thought it was going to be like an Ansel Adams thing, or I don't know, what was another one I thought of before I looked at these, because I try to think before I Google it.
Yeah.
Like what would be the image?
Use your
And I
brain.
thought the kissing one.
Absolutely.
I thought that would have been in there. I thought an Ansel Adams print of some sort because the waterfall or the mountain. Or anyway, so do you
Well,
have a favorite image? What is
favorite image?
What's your favorite goat image?
My favorite what image?
Greatest of all
Goats?
time.
Okay.
Greatest of all time.
Have you ever
image.
seen that picture of a tree that's full of goats? That's my favorite goat image of all time. Have you not seen it?
No, I don't know
You've
what you're
seen
talking
it,
about.
right? Yeah.
That's
they're-
not what I meant, though.
Yeah, but it's what I'm going with now.
That
About
was-
the goats who climb trees. And then that's how they relax and hang out, is just like sitting up in the tree. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like
Nothing about that sounds relaxing.
30 goats up
No.
in a tree. Yeah.
30 goats in a tree.
Yeah.
Sounds like the beginning.
K-I-S-S-I-N-G. Yeah.
It sounds like the beginning of a joke.
Yeah.
30
It is.
goats in a tree.
Yeah.
So,
I'll come up with a punchline later.
yeah. Well, I'm sure that we've got a lot of events going
We
on
do.
that will need some photographs and some camera action. So how about we
Let's
throw
jump
some
to
out?
it. Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to talk about some upcoming community events, right?
Yeah.
I'll go first. It's time for community events. Anyway. Candlelight auditions are July 1 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I believe is that Saturday? Is that Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
Saturday.
At Coleman Performance Hall at the North Carolina History Center. Candlelight is just a short 6 months away, but the work starts now. To be a part of Triumph Palace's historic holiday event, audition this Saturday at Coleman Performance Hall. There are speaking and non-speaking and dancing parts.
Get your tutu on.
No, you don't have to get your tutu on. They have all the costumes. They're gonna dress you up. It's a fun time.
Very good.
It's also fun for people who want to do a little bit of performing, but maybe have not done it before. It's very small little skits or no lines at all. You just want to be in costuming and pretend to be somebody else. Also
There you
called
go.
acting.
So July 1 is Saturday. So
Okay.
July 2 Sunday. That's the next one. We're going to do the Bear Town Exchange July 2nd, Sunday at 10 a.m. at Newbern Farmers Market grounds. Various vendors and flea marketeers. Everything under the sun and then some. Come find something you need but didn't know you needed. Vendors and flea market spots are still available. Go to beartownexchange.com for more information and to reserve your spot. The first Sunday of every month except on holidays.
Very good.
Yeah.
And of course, next week we have the 4th of July. Are you excited?
Boom, 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 boom. That's my grand finale for fireworks.
It's our Independence Day. Let's celebrate it with a bang.
From sea to shining sea. It's a very low key for me.
Yeah, but you still got it.
I did.
You found it.
I found it.
It's our Independence Day. Yes, join Tryon Palace at 10 a.m. for their glorious 4th celebration, beginning with a reading of the Declaration of Independence and then a firing demonstration from the 1st Regiment Continental Line and a fife and drum performance. Gardens will be free admission all day.
How about you want to do the next bullet?
Yeah, go for it.
Great. Join the American Legion Post 539 for a 4th of July parade in River Bend. The parade begins at 10:30 and you will meet in the front of Town Hall.
Havelock has their annual Freedom Fest going on with food, vendors, games, contests, a live performance by the 2nd MAW Band.
That would be the Mao Band.
Mao Band.
Mao Band.
Ending the night with fireworks.
Whoop, whoop. New Bern is also having their 4th of July celebration in Lawson Creek Park. There will be face painting, inflatables, games, music, food trucks, and of course, fireworks.
Fireworks.
And with a bang.
Love it. All right. And then next week on our show, we've got a self-defense instructor from our community enrichment program. So next Thursday, July 6th, that event is already on Facebook. So go ahead and follow that if you want to get a little notification on when that's happening. But we'll be back in the studio to discuss our upcoming self-defense class. Join us at 9 a.m. on Facebook or catch the replay on YouTube. You can also join the conversation and make comments like our friend Brad. Make sure to comment through the episode and ask questions.
Perfect.
And of course, our podcast is on YouTube now. It's an official YouTube podcast, so you can also.
Oh, it is official?
I think so.
Did it?
So then it gives us the thumbs up. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So like and subscribe us on YouTube, and you can catch the replay and make your comments and share with all your friends.
Throwback Thursday.
And a Throwback Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll throw a comment in there for the last time that Laura was here, right?
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Correct.
Yay! Laura, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
all
it.
that you do on campus. Continued luck for all, well, it shouldn't be luck. You guys have worked your tails off and you have earned that medal in that pretty little velvet box. And we want that to continue, that success. So thank you again for being here with us.
Yep. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely. And anything else, Craig?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, we've one thing. Do mark your calendar for open house. That is coming up July 20th.
July
right?
20th. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're still registering for fall.
Yeah, and we're still registering for fall. But I was just going to say that's a great opportunity if you're not sure what you want to do. Come in on during open house. We'll have people from all different programs and advising, and they'll be able to. You can just talk to them and say, I don't know what I need or what I can do, but put me on a path, and we'll be able to help you.
And you may be able to come find us.
We'll see. Yeah.
Come find us. We'll be there.
We will be there.
We'll be
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. With bells on.
Are you bringing bells?
I'm bringing my bells.
Okay, got it.
Bells ring-a-ling.
Yes. But yes, so we are enrolling for fall right now. You don't have to wait until open house, but it's a great opportunity to come and talk to everybody you would need.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time.
Until next time.
We will see you next Thursday, July 6th. Be here with us on the In the Know podcast. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.